and gentlemen, Bad Bunny.
My name is Benito, and
Please welcome to the Late Show, Bad Bunny.
His new album, Debí Tirar Más Fotos, is out now, right now.
Hijo de puta, no me cuquen, lean los números pa' que se eduquen. Estoy en mi pick, ey, estoy en mi pick. Mírame en lo que me convertí.
Bad Bunny's rise from nothing to superstar is actually insane. Bad Bunny was born on March 10, 1994 in Vega Baja, Puerto Rico. His real name is Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio. He grew up in a working-class household. His father was a truck driver, and his mother was a school teacher. Music was always around him. His mom played salsa, merengue, and ballads at home, and Benito listened carefully. As a kid, he was quiet and reserved. He wasn't the loud, wild personality people see today. He spent a lot of time alone, thinking, listening, and observing. He sang in the church choir when he was young, which helped him get comfortable using his voice. He didn't grow up rich, life was simple, but he had something powerful early on: imagination. He loved wrestling, fashion, and music. He liked being different, even if people didn't understand it yet. At this point, there was no fame, no plan, just a kid from Puerto Rico slowly building his identity without realizing how far it will take him. Benito fell in love with music naturally. Reggaeton, Latin trap, hip-hop, it all blended in his world. Artists like Daddy Yankee influenced him, but he never wanted to copy anyone. He wanted to sound like himself. As a teenager, he started writing lyrics on his phone. Not polished songs, raw thoughts, emotions, frustrations, dreams. Music became how he released what he couldn't say out loud. He studied audio-visual communication at university, but music never left his mind. While studying, he worked as a bagger at a grocery store. That job humbled him. He was making music at the nights and packing groceries during the day. Instead of waiting for permission, he uploaded songs to SoundCloud. No label, no budget, just his voice and the beat. His sound was different. Deep voice, lazy flow, honest lyrics. Some people didn't get it. Others felt it immediately. Slowly, his music started spreading, not because it was perfect, but because it felt real. Bad Bunny's breakthrough didn't come from a big stage. It came from the internet. One of his songs, Dials, started gaining attention on SoundCloud. It caught the ear of DJ Luyan, a major figure in Latin trap. The moment changed everything. DJ Luyan saw something special in Benito. Not just talent, but identity. Bad Bunny signed to Here. This music and suddenly had access to real studios, real promotion, and real opportunities. He started collaborating with rising artists like J Balvin and Ozuna. His name began circulating fast in the Latin music scene. But even as his career moved forward, Benito stayed himself. He kept his style, his accent, his personality. He didn't try to fit a clean image. People connected with that authenticity. He wasn't trying to be perfect. He wasn't being honest. This phase taught him something important. You don't need to change to win. You need to stand out. Bad Bunny's rise became impossible to ignore. He featured on hit songs, appeared everywhere, and his voice became instantly recognizable. His look stood out too. Wild clothes, painted nails, strange sunglasses. Some people laughed, others criticized, but that attention only helped him grow. In 2018, he released his debut album, X100 Pre. It was bold, experimental, and emotional. It didn't follow rules. It jumped between styles and moods. The album was a statement. Bad Bunny wasn't just a hit maker. He was an artist. Fans loved how personal the project felt. He talked about heartbreak, loneliness, fame, and pressure. Not in a polished way, in a real one. The album proved he could carry a full project alone. And from that moment, Bad Bunny was no longer upcoming. He had arrived. With fame came attention and pressure. Bad Bunny became one of the most visible Latin artists in the world. Every move was watched, every lyric was judged, but instead of shrinking, he expanded. He released hits after hits, collaborations exploded, he dominated charts globally, not just in Latin countries. What made him special was his fearlessness. He talked about mental health, he challenged gender norms, he wore what he wanted and said what he believed. Some fans loved it, others were confused, but Benito didn't bend. This era showed his confidence. He wasn't chasing approval anymore. He was leading. He proved that Latin artists didn't need to cross over into English to dominate the world. Spanish was enough, and the industry had to adjust. As Bad Bunny got more famous, something interesting happened. He didn't become quieter. He became more honest. A lot of artists reach fame and suddenly avoid real topics. Benito did the opposite. He started talking about what was happening in Puerto Rico. The protests, the frustrations, the feeling of being ignored. And he didn't sugarcoat it. Now, that made some people uncomfortable. Some fans just wanted music, not opinions. But Benito didn't separate the two. For him, music was real life. At the time, fame was clearly wearing on him. And instead of pretending everyone was perfect, he said it out loud. He talked about being tired and anxious. About feeling overwhelmed. That mattered, because a lot of fans felt the same way. Musically, he didn't slow down, but he stopped following any pattern. Albums dropped with no warning. Sounds changed constantly. One project felt emotional, the next felt aggressive, the next felt calm. This part of his journey wasn't about proving talent anymore. It was about staying human, while the world expected him to be superhuman. So let's talk about his image, because this is where Bad Bunny really shook things up. Benito dressed however he wanted, painted nails, skirts, soft colors, loud outfits, and in Latin culture, especially for male artists, that was a big deal. People talked, people judged, people laughed. But here's the thing, he never explained himself. He never apologized. He just kept going. At first, critics tried to make a joke. Then they realized he wasn't playing a character. This was him. And slowly, respect replaced confusion. What made this powerful is that he wasn't trying to be rebellious, just to shock people. He was being comfortable, confident, and calm. At the same time, his career kept rising. Tours sold out fast, streams exploded. His audience grew beyond Latin music into global pop culture. This chapter proves something important. When you're fully comfortable with who you are, other people don't get to define you. By this point, Bad Bunny wasn't just successful, he was everywhere. Whenever he dropped music, it felt like an event. Fans stayed awake waiting, social media froze, and the craziest part, a lot of people didn't even speak Spanish, but they still felt the music. That's when it became clear. Emotion travels faster than language. Benito understood timing really well. He knew when to disappear and let people miss him, and when he came back, it felt bigger every time. He also started branching out, wrestling appearances, acting roles, fashion deals, but none of it felt random. It was all felt like different sides of the same person. What stood out most was control. He wasn't being pushed by labels or trends. He chose when to release, he chose what to do, he chose when to stop. At this stage, Bad Bunny wasn't just chasing attention. Attention followed him, and that's powerful. With that level of success, most artists burn out. Bad Bunny didn't, because he learned when to step back. He started protecting his energy, taking breaks, saying no. And at first, fans were used to that. But over time, people understood. No matter how big he became, he never changed how he spoke or where he came from. Same accent, same pride, same connection to Puerto Rico. His tours turned into massive events. Stadiums filled, cities felt the impact. But he still moved like someone who knew fame could disappear at any time. That mindset kept him grounded. He understood something very few people understand. Success isn't about doing more or being more. It's about doing what matters and ignoring the rest. That's how he stayed powerful Bad Bunny's story isn't about luck or going viral. It's about being real when it's risky. From packing groceries to selling out stadiums, Benito never pretended to be someone else. He didn't clean himself out for the industry. The industry adjusted to him. He showed the world that Spanish music doesn't need permission, that masculinity doesn't need rules, that vulnerability doesn't equal weakness. His legacy isn't just music, it's freedom, expression. He didn't win by fitting in, he won by being himself. And that's why his story sticks.